What is up, everybody? I'm No Lux Given here with your afternoon snap, and today I'm going to be breaking down this game with my Kang Galactus Destroyer deck. And to kick things off, I'm going to throw Wolverine into Monster Metropolis. Negative Zone is a really good location for the goblins that we play in this deck, so it could be a really good location to throw Galactus later on, but unfortunately we don't have those goblins just yet, as my opponent is going to hit me with a Scorpion, which would have pumped those up. And then on turn 3, our final location is Sinister London. And normally, this isn't a great location for the deck. It's not really great with Destroyer because the first Destroyer is normally destroyed by the second one, and it's also not great for Galactus because you've got cards in all 3 locations. However, I'm still gonna snap. I think that the curve of Electro into now a turn 4 Destroyer, blowing up both of those Electros, is still pretty cool. We'll have extra energy for the rest of the game, and maybe we can figure out something to do with that. So I'm gonna snap on turn 3. We'll make a copy of Electro here for that extra energy, and my opponent has a really spicy card. They've got Quake. So that's going to switch around the locations. Not a card that sees too much play, but definitely an interesting one here. And then on turn 4, I draw Kang. And I potentially should have played Kang here. If you play Kang on the turn that you draw him, then you get to draw another card deeper into your deck. But I kind of thought I knew what I was doing this turn already. I knew I was just going to be playing Destroyer, so I figured I would hang on to Kang and potentially get some additional information with him down the line. But on this turn, you'll see why I don't really love Destroyer into Sinister London. As my opponent plays Crossbones, that's basically 16 power to my 15 from Destroyer. Now, winds up being a little bit different than that. We get to blow up Wolverine twice. We also land our Destroyer in Monster Metropolis for an additional 3 power, whereas their second Crossbones goes into the negative zone, but you can still see the point that I am getting at there, that it's not super impressive for a Destroyer, though Crossbones is a pretty cool play, so I'll definitely give my opponent some props for that. But I have a cool play this turn as well. I'm going to play Wave on the 5th turn of the game, and the reason that I do that is because we still have 2 extra energy each turn. So next turn, everything will cost 4, but we'll have 8 energy and be able to play 2 cards, and my opponent will only be able to play 1. Now, I was really hoping to Green Goblin into Sinister London to give my opponent some additional negative power this turn, but unfortunately they are going to Arrow with priority. So now Atuma plus Professor X will only be enough to tie in Sinister London, and then my opponent can win that location by playing any card there. So the play this turn would be Atuma plus Professor X into the negative zone, and then just allow Destroyer to hopefully win in the Monster Metropolis. But before we get there, I'm going to take a look with Kang to see what my opponent has got. And my opponent is actually feeling pretty confident. They're gonna snap. So I'm glad that we have Kang here to at least see what's up. I throw Kang in the negative zone so that way it can't get Cosmoed or anything. And then we find out that my opponent actually has Shang-Chi. They throw it in Sinister London for fun, but they're really trying to use it to win in the Monster Metropolis. And because they are definitely going to win in Sinister London as well, things start to get pretty tricky. My opponent has priority here, so it's not like I can use Professor X to protect my Destroyer. And I would also need Professor X to protect Atuma from offing himself to be able to win the negative zone. So this is a really, really tricky circumstance that we found ourselves in. But we do actually have a way out. My opponent can only play 1 card this turn because we waved. They are probably going to play the same thing. I do briefly think about like, oh, could we put Atuma into the Monster Metropolis and reveal it after the Shang-Chi flips over, but then we'll lose the other 2 locations. However, we can win with Galactus. Galactus will be the only card in Monster Metropolis after my opponent's Shang-Chi flips over there, destroying it, which means that Galactus gets to activate and we're still currently losing, but we are also going to destroy my Wolverine in the process. That will briefly flip over and visit into the negative zone before destroying itself once again and joining me in the Monster Metropolis. Now Wolverine is the highest power card in the game, which allows me to take my opponent for 8 cubes. That's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lux Given. Peace.